finish in the basement. Worth the benefit of some peace and quiet? When questions find you, Merrill Edge Self-Directed Investing can help you find answers with personalized planning tools and insights to help you get where you want to go, even if it's just downstairs. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/withinreach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Panera's new flatbread pizzas are here. But to our new chef, Klaus, they're not just pizzas, they're masterpieces. Because it's not just cheese, it's hot and melty mozzarella and fontina cheese. It's not just sauce, it's market tomato red bell pepper sauce. And it's not just toppings, it's fresh mozzarella, basil, and grape tomatoes. Taste our delicious new flatbread pizzas today. Order online for pickup or delivery. Panera. Restrictions apply.
Looking for an easier way to find your next call center or accounting job? It's time to get to know Express Employment Professionals. Find a location near you at expresspros.com.
He's a former Buckeyes great and now a college football Hall of Famer. And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots.
Watch for the great block by Keith Byars on Pepper Johnson. Bam! Right there. Byars just failed.
He's Dayton's own Keith Byars. It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken on Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Welcome. You listen to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Phone number to call is 937-457-9464. One more time, 937-457-9464. And you can also hit me on Twitter, and I can answer your there as well. My Twitter handle is KAB41. Wow. What a weekend of sports. Saturday, NFL playoff games. Sunday, NFL playoff games. And then, Monday's not the weekend. It was first day of the week. But the Buckeyes are playing for the national championship. Good. It's good to be a Browns fan today, huh? You're a Cleveland Browns fan. I think you're strutting into work with a little different glide in your stride. And, I was open the show, wanting to talk about, the game tonight. Plus, of course, I'm going to get to that, watching the Ohio State plays Alabama tonight for the national championship. And I was going to talk about the NFL playoffs. So I'm going to start talking about Ohio State, talk about college, talk about the football playoffs, then finish with Ohio State. But the Cleveland Browns just wrecked all that. They just wrecked all my schedule up. So let me start, my show, the right way. Always, hey guys, we're in the midst of coronavirus. Take care of one another. Keep your social distancing. Wear your mask. Let's take care of one another. Black lives do matter. Let's take care of. We're going to stamp out systematic racism in America, and then we'll work on the rest of the world. But let's take care of home first. Let's take care of one another. Guys, the Cleveland Browns, I got to talk about it. It was some great great playoff football. That's why we love this time of the year. We love, we turn the calendar, Christmas, New Year's, all those good bowl games. And now it's like, wow, okay, this is the type of year you really want to see NFL playoff football. Who's going to be, the contenders? Who's got a chance to make the Super Bowl? You got to be in the tournament first. So now we're seeing all the tournament teams, and that started on Saturday. With Indianapolis and Buffalo. What a way to get the playoffs started. 27-24, Buffalo advances. I know if you are Indianapolis Colts fan, I know you're like, why didn't we take the points at the end of the half? 3-point difference. Playoff football is different than regular season football. Regular season football is different from preseason football. Everything is expounded that much more. The games seem to be that much shorter once you get to the playoffs because every possession, every quarter matters. It always matters, but it's just more amplified because the difference of the playoffs, everybody's watching that one game. It's not like on a typical NFL Sunday. You got these games on Fox, these games on NBC, these games on CBS and ESPN. Everybody's watching that one game. That's why the spotlight is even that much brighter, and you have to perform your best. Everybody has center stage. It's not like the Monday night game or the Sunday night game. Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching your game. So Buffalo advances. A good season by both teams. Only one could advance, so Buffalo will go to the next level. Indianapolis, so close. Great season, nevertheless. Finished 11-5, outstanding season. So that's how the NFL playoffs started on Saturday. And then the Saturday afternoon game, we had the Seattle Seahawks against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams won, of course, 30-20. They had went through some changes this year. Their starting quarterback didn't even start the game. He had surgery on his thumb, 12 days earlier. His backup gets hurt on the second series, not to return. And so Jared Goff had to throw off to Parker and get in the game right now. And they played with a bad thumb, with a surgically repaired thumb. Defense, Aaron Donald had an outstanding game. And the hidden thing that people always overlook is a battle of the trenches. Aaron Donald dominated, the Seattle Seahawks offensive line like he does a lot of offensive lines. But he was the tone setter, the table setter, and everybody else just fed off that energy. I love Russell Wilson. I think he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League. But if he doesn't have time to make anything happen, they had him on the run from the snap of the ball to the last snap. Great job by the Rams. So they advanced. Seattle was the division winner, but doesn't matter. You're going home. Their season is over with. So we got Buffalo. They're going around 2. The Rams going around 2 on Saturday. And then the nightcap on Saturday was Tampa Bay against the Washington football team. I like to call them the Washington Red Tails. I hope that's what their name is. Maybe one day speak it out there in existence. But Tom Brady, how old is Tom Brady? 45, 50, 60 years old? Something like that. He's 42. But 42-year-old starting quarterback. Played outstanding, and what's the name of the quarterback for Washington? Heinrich or whatever. I mean, yeah, he did a good job too. Not good enough, but but let's be honest. Somebody had to represent the NFC East. It should be the NFC least this year. Nobody deserved to be in the playoffs. But hey, you won the division, Washington. Chase Young had an outstanding game, not his greatest game. He ended up getting hurt. That he did keep some pressure on Brady, but it wasn't enough. Inexperience showed up. Experience, a 42-year-old quarterback. And Tampa, those guys played. And I think Tom Brady put on a clinic on why he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. I mean, everybody, you watch Tom Brady, and most of us have. What he does the best is throw the ball to the open guy. He doesn't have a favorite receiver. He doesn't force the ball to Gronkowski or Antonio Brown or whoever. Whoever's open first, you get it first. And that's what he does. He spreads the ball around. He had over 6 guys with over 2 catches in the game. That's what you want to see. It was a professional display by, a Hall of Fame type quarterback. So well done, Tom Brady. So that was the wrap up on Saturday night. 3 very good games. Started off with Indianapolis, losing to Buffalo 27-24. Seattle had a 10-point win. Had 10-point loss to the Los Angeles Rams 30-20. And the nightcapper was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting their first playoff win in a long time, but they wouldn't got it over the Washington football team. And then we turn the page to Sunday. Wow, what first game did we see yesterday? Everybody was, can Lamar Jackson finally get the playoff win? I know how hard it is to win the playoffs. I lost my first 3 games in the playoffs, so it takes a heart to get that monkey off your back. Hey, and the Baltimore Ravens helped Lamar Jackson get that monkey off his back. Outstanding game by Lamar Jackson. Not his greatest game, but he had a great game nevertheless. The league leading rusher with 2,000 yards. Derrick Henry never really got on track. But you know why he didn't get on track? Because you got to give the Baltimore Ravens defense, but Ryan Tannehill, you stunk. If they're going to commit 8-9 men in the box, Ryan Tannehill, you have to make throws. You have to loosen up that defense to able, to open up holes. For Derrick Henry, if they're going to keep commit that many people against the run, that's an indictment On the quarterback position, Ryan Tannehill, you have got to be better. That's not good enough. It was a good game there nonetheless, 20-13. You had a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter. Couldn't do it. Kudos to Coach Harbaugh and his Baltimore Ravens. I know you said Harbaugh. No, not that Harbaugh. It's just the same family member. But nevertheless, John Harbaugh did an outstanding job having his team ready to play. J.K. Dobbins, ex-Ohio State Buckeye, he's had a touchdown. How many games? I think about 6 or 7 games in a row. He had a nice game again yesterday. The Buckeyes are always going to be represented in the playoffs, and he did an outstanding job. So that was the start of Sunday's playoff games, and then had a little bit of a yawner. New Orleans Saints, they beat the Chicago Bears 21-9, and it wasn't even that close. It was really worse than that. But New Orleans got the win. And you've looked the way that New Orleans have exited the playoffs the last, 3 years. I just don't trust New Orleans. Drew Brees, he has a job waiting for him in NBC once he retires. He's had a Hall of Fame career, outstanding player, great player, but it's getting closer to the end. I mean, they left points on the board, a few times yesterday, and they've done that. And since they won the Super Bowl, they have had unceremonious exits from the playoffs. But who knows? But right now, New Orleans is still in it. They have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And that game, not a whole lot to say about that. It was just a table setter, a palate cleanser for what everybody in Ohio was waiting for. And that was for the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers have a ton of fans in Ohio and nationwide. Steeler Nation is real. And they have been slapping the Browns for time and eternity, especially when you get them in Heinz Field or in Pittsburgh or Three River Stadium, you name it, they don't win there. But guess what happened last night? The score was 7-0 after the first play of the game. And then it was 14-0. We're still in the first quarter. Can you believe it was 21-0 still in the first quarter? And then 28-0 in the first quarter. The Browns, I don't remember. Jim Brown was probably in the building last time they was beating Pittsburgh that bad. Nevertheless, they was winning 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. Twitter universe was going crazy. Facebook, you name it. Everybody did I wake up on the wrong side of the bed? How long have I been asleep? Is that score correct? But Cleveland, I hate to say they hung on because they still, the last 3 quarters, they still scored another 20 points. They win the game 48-37. And you got to admit, Browns fan, it was a few times in that second half when you was on the edge, you'll see like, oh no, are we going to let them back in the game? Are you going to let them back in the game? Well, it was close. They almost did let them back in, but they never did. Every time the door seemed like it was going to come all the way open, the Browns just, had answers and they shut it back with, finishing with 13 points in the fourth quarter to match the Steelers 14. So it was a really, really good game. Like I said, I know people listen to my voice. People are on lunch break right now. The Browns fans, you probably got to work at least 15, 20 minutes earlier than you normally would. Just because your coworkers have been riding you for years, not just this year, for years, now I say decades, of how bad the Browns are, how bad they stink. But guess what? The Browns have made the playoffs last week. Everybody counted them out. And guess what? They're still in the Super Bowl tournament. Did they say Super Bowl? Yes, I said Super Bowl. They still have a chance to win the Super Bowl. They are one of 8 teams with a chance to win the Super Bowl. Who would have given the Browns odds of that? You're one of 8 teams that have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And for sure, these teams that are playing this weekend, one of them will win the Super Bowl in 2021. And that's all you want. You want to have an opportunity, to get to the tournament, to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And that is what's happening right now in Cleveland. That would just be outstanding. I've told friends, for years, when the Cleveland Cavaliers won the NBA championship, that was the first championship in Cleveland. And how many years, Justin? Was it 40? Since Jim Brown won the championship for the Cleveland Browns. It's been, and never the Cavaliers. It's been a long time since the baseball team had won a championship. So that was huge. Huge. They were like, man, you can never look at Cleveland no more and say we won nothing since then. So the Cavaliers won the championship. And I recall telling friends, you think Ohio was off the chain with the Cavaliers winning the championship. Let the Browns get to the Super Bowl. See how nuts it would be. I mean, you say win it. Let the Browns get to the Super Bowl. Ohio would be buzzing. And if the Browns ever win the Super Bowl, it would be bigger than when Philadelphia won a Super Bowl, bigger than when the Cubs won the World Series. That would be the sports story. Just waiting to be told. The Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl. Just get to it. It's only been 54 Super Bowls. This is the 55th Super Bowl coming up. And so the Browns are one of, I think, 4 or 5 teams that have never been to the Super Bowl. And they would get that monkey off your back. And they said, why are you talking about Super Bowl, Keith? They still got to win 3 games, or 2 more games. Dude, you got to be in it to win it. You have to believe. And I'm not, saying the Browns are going to be in the Super Bowl this year. But one thing is certainly true. They're eligible. It's a whole lot of teams ineligible. Pittsburgh, you're not eligible for the Super Bowl this year. Philadelphia Eagles, you're not eligible. It's a whole lot of teams not eligible as of yesterday. A lot of other teams. But there's 8 teams still eligible for the Super Bowl. And if your team is one of them, hey, you have something to be excited about because it doesn't happen every year. Yes, we get some of the same teams that make the playoffs 4 years in a row or 5 years in a row. But if I recall, the Steelers were at home last year watching the playoffs. They don't like how I feel, but they made it this year. But now they're back home again. The Browns hadn't made the playoffs in 18 years. That's a graduation. People have babies and graduate them out of high school, and they never seen the Browns in the playoffs until now. So that's one thing I do love about this era of the NFL. You can go from worst to first in a season, and you can go, from first to worst. The pendulum can swing both ways. Not too long ago, we was on this show talking about, can you believe the Browns went 0-16? 0-16. And that seems like eons ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. It really wasn't that long ago. But right now, you have, and trust me, when you win in the playoffs, I've been in playoff games and won playoff games. Once you make the playoffs, you go to work with a little different swag. It's a whole lot of people's season over with, but guess what? We're getting to go to work. We're getting to work out. And so you have attention to detail is even that much more laser, much more focused. And then after you win a playoff game, man, your hometown team, they greet you at the airport a lot of times. They may, the same fans that may see you in the grocery store, now they're looking at you with a little extra, hey now, we got a chance. We got a chance. And it feels good. You want to work hard. Your body is aching, but the aches aren't that bad anymore because you're actually playing for something. You're playing for history. History has their eyes on you, like the song from Hamilton. And you're playing for history once you make it to the playoffs. That's just a whole nother thing, and that's where you make your name in the playoffs. You want to have your biggest game in the playoffs. So Cleveland Brown fans, feel good about it. Don't let nobody rain on your parade. So, well, y'all got to go to Kansas City. Well, you wish you had the opportunity to go to Kansas City. So Kansas City doesn't have, they won their way to the championship last year, and that's how they're going to have to do it again. Win your way to the championship, not talk about it, not just throw your helmets out there. And Pittsburgh felt that way. Look at Juju Smith-Schuster. He just thought, Cleveland, they know what happens when they come to Pittsburgh. They know they're going to get beat. They're not used to showing up. Well, Juju can never say that anymore. So he has to eat those words, eat that crow, and be done with it. So the phone number, call me if you guys want to, chime in, is 937-457-9464. I got a few minutes before I got to go to break. Ohio State or Alabama. Need I say more? Need I say more? That's what you live for. When you sign your letter of intent to go to college, to have an opportunity, to play in the biggest games and the biggest stages that you can possibly play in. And, I was blessed to have that opportunity, to play in 4 bowl games, one of them being the Rose Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl. Those are, awesome. But it's a new era now where you have an opportunity to, when I was playing, it was voted on who was the national championship. We didn't have a national championship, quote unquote, game. Now, they do. And I was talking with some friends yesterday. I have a major problem with the college football selection committee on how they choose and just a whole lot of things. But one thing I will compliment the selection committee more often than not, and especially they're on year 7 of a 12-year contract, they have had 2 of the top 4 teams in the championship. They haven't always got all 4 of them right, but they've had, in the championship game, usually comes down to at least 2 of the top 4 teams that deserve to be there. And last year, they had the 2 of the 4 top teams. I mean, Clemson, was in there against LSU, but Ohio State just as seemed, could have been there at that 3rd team. Oklahoma wouldn't have been there, but nevertheless, that's history. But right now, you got Alabama, you got Ohio State, you had Clemson, you had Notre Dame. Clemson and Notre Dame, whatever, but you definitely have the top 2. And the top 2 all season long. Yes, Alabama has played a few more games than Ohio State, but these are the top 2 teams that's in the college football that deserve to be in there. And I think we're going to get a great game tonight. My comparison and my analysis, I've been thinking about this game ever since the clock went 0-0-0 against Clemson. Yes, I celebrated a little bit, but my mind immediately, remember the days playing for Bill Parcells and Belichick was on the staff. Hey, we got a 24-hour rule. Enjoy the game, but 24 hours from now, it's over. So it's time to turn the page and go to the next one. So that's what Ohio State has to do. And I drew up, my breakdown, my analysis of the game. I'll give you a few of them before we go to break and pick it up on the other side. But, the categories is head coach. Who has the advantage as the head coach? Does Ohio State or is Alabama? It is really close to call, but I have to give the edge to Alabama because experience and more opportunities of playing in these big games. And, he's going to be a Hall of Famer someday at college football along with myself, and that's Nick Saban. He has an edge. Not a decided edge where it's huge, but he has the edge over Ryan Day. Ryan Day is only in his 2nd year as a head coach, but with a resume after 2 years, 2 Big Ten championships, 2 college football playoffs, and one of them, semifinal last year, championship game this year. He has a way of getting the first national championship in his first 2 years. That's very, very hard to do. And Ryan Day has an opportunity to pull it off. And I believe he's going to pull it off. But as of right now, going into this game, you have to give Alabama the slight edge for the head coach. The next coordinator, next analysis would be who has the edge as offensive coordinator? Ohio State offensive coordinator or Alabama? Well, Alabama's offense coordinator, Steve Sarkisian, he's a little distracted because he's got another job to get to pretty soon. He's going to Texas, as soon as this game is over with. But nonetheless, I think his preparation, having Alabama's offense, they're going to be ready to go. Ohio State's offense coordinator, he certainly, you got a Justin Fields, you got a Chris Olave, you got Trey Sermon, Garrett Wilson. I think from the coordinator's job, they're both are going to do an outstanding job. So that is going to be a match. There's no clear-cut advantage there. Defensive coordinator, I have a system I'm going down. I give you a 0, 1, or a 2. Our defensive coordinator and their defense coordinator, their job is just as monumental, but they both get 0s. That's not bad. It's just a wash. It's just even. Now, the overall coaching staff, who has the advantage there? Ohio State has some outstanding coaches on their staff, and so does Alabama. But in my analysis, Alabama gets a 2, Ohio State gets a 1. they have so many coaches. Maybe they got to deal a little different budget. I mean, they have Charlie Strong on their staff as a defensive analysis. You know, he coached with Urban Meyer. He was Urban Meyer's defense coordinator, you know, at Florida. Went on, was a head coach at Texas. Yeah, I think Charlie Strong was an outstanding coach. They have a lot of other coaches on their staff. So does Ohio State, Coach Larry Johnson. But I'm going to give a slight edge to the total coaching staff, only because Alabama has a few more coaches on that staff than Ohio State. So I'm going to give Alabama the slight edge there. The quarterback position. No, I won't even talk about that yet. I'm getting close to my break, but I'm going to slip down to experience. Who has the most experience between these two teams? Ohio State, or is it Alabama? They both get ones. It's going to be real close either way. They both are a very experienced team. They've both been SEC championships, Big Ten championships. These kids are well experienced, young men, I should say, well experienced. They're going to be ready. The little intangibles, what does Ohio State have that Alabama doesn't have, or Alabama has Ohio State? It's almost like looking in the mirror. It's real even there. They both get ones. The kickers and the punters. Well, the kickers, I don't think, if it comes down to a game-winning field goal, I don't think either team has a clear-cut advantage in that area. Every kick by the kickers will be very important. One thing the Ohio State kicker has a tendency to do is kick the ball out of bounds on kickoffs and giving the team the ball at the 40-yard line. Don't do that. Don't do that. But as far as the punters go, Ohio State's punter, Alabama's punter, Ohio State gets the edge there 1-0. But I want to see Alabama's punter. I don't know if he's even made the trip to Miami. He doesn't seem to play very often. But I need to see him on the field at least 4 or 5 times, tonight. And if that happens, that's going to be an advantage to Ohio State. But what I like about our punter, he changes the field. He puts a lot of punts inside the 20. But I don't want to see him very often tonight. I want to see more of the Alabama punter, less of the Ohio State punter. We'll pick up more of that analysis and a breakdown, and I can take your calls on the other side as well, 937-457-9464, or hit me on Twitter, KAB41. You're listening to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hey, what do you want to da-da-da? I don't know. What do y'all think we should da-da-da? Well, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday. Oh, the dolls feel like the same doll these days. I know. Like, is today Monday or Tuesday? Today is Thursday. Oh, no, I forgot to call my mom on her birthday. Oh, no. No.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. That won't change. Not today or any day.
Quote today at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
I'm so sick.
Ooh, honey.
Seriously? I'm sick.
Oh, honey, it's time for DayQuil Severe Honey. It's maximum strength cold and flu medicine with soothing, honeylicious taste.
I love you, honey.
And I love
I meant the DayQuil.
New DayQuil Severe Honey. This soothing, honeylicious daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, power through your day medicine. Use as directed.
2020 has been a hard-hitting year for all of us, but specifically for our veterans. Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission will be holding a new winter coat giveaway for all qualifying veterans on Friday, January the 15th at the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission, located at 627 Edwin C. Moses Boulevard, 4th floor, East Medical Plaza. For coat qualifying requirements, go to mcvsc.org or call 937-225-4801.
Hi, Joey Beckett here at Buckeye Ford in Sydney, home of the Works package. We'll change the oil and filter, rotate the tires, check the brakes, test the battery, and check all the fluids and filters. Still starting at just $39.95. And ask us about our double take tire specials. Goodyear, Michelin, BF Goodrich, Kelly, and other quality tires. Buckeye Ford in Sydney, exit 92 off of I-75. We'll see you soon.
New year, new job, new pay rates. Ritz Hall North America LLC in Urbana has immediate openings seeking experienced assembly operators, welders, machine operators, paint unloaders, and paint loaders. Ritz Hall offers a minimum starting wage of $15.30 per hour with a $1 shift differential for second and third shifts, monthly attendance bonus, and benefits starting on the first of the month after hire. If interested, please email Katie McKee your resume at mckee.k@ritzhall.us. Ritz Hall is proud to be an affirmative action and equal opportunity employer.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
The Byars Distribution Center in Tip City, Ohio is hiring for warehouse positions in all units, which include flexible schedules, career growth opportunities, best-in-class benefits, and competitive starting wages. Interested candidates should call 937-669-9109 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Monday through Friday. Apply online at jobs.meyer.com. Search distribution and enter Tip City. Once again, call 937-669-9109 for an interview. We look forward to you joining the team at Meyer. Meyer is an equal opportunity employer.
Need legal help? Come see us. The Montgomery County Clerk of Courts has partnered with organizations across the community to launch its new help center. Allow one of our dedicated staff the chance to inform you with legal information, self-help tools, forms, and guides, and referrals to social or legal professionals. We're here to help. Visit courthouse2u.com to learn more. Come down and see us. Brought to you by Clerk of Courts Mike Foley.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? 15 or 25%? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe.
See just how much you can save when you bundle. In the Springfield and surrounding area, call me, Dave Mowdy, at 325-2474, right across the street from Frisch's on East Main Street.
Savings vary based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Staples has everything you need to start the year right, like home office furniture, the latest tech, and organizational supplies, and all at amazing prices. Get a fresh start this year with big savings from Staples.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzz driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely, like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You can kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says I'm a catch more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
Oh, what? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
There's nothing better than a fresh-made home-style meal, but not everyone loves the hassle of cooking. At Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home-style happens here with our famous 12-piece family meal at a great price. This famous family meal includes 12 mixed pieces of Lee's fresh, never-frozen chicken that is honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and cooked to perfection, plus 3 large sides and 6 fluffy biscuits. Get a home-style meal made easy today with Lee's 12-piece family meal at a great price. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
The spread of COVID-19 is still unchecked across the nation, and you need to keep your family safe. Make a new habit and check your temperatures twice a day, once before dinner and before leaving home in the morning. You can't afford to take chances, so use the Exergen Temporal Scanner. Its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies, and it takes an accurate reading in seconds. It's the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Quick and easy to use. You can count on Exergen to keep your family safe 24 hours a day.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app anytime, anywhere. Listen to more than 300 stations along with more than 3,000 podcasts from your home area or across the U.S., all free.
With the radio.com app.
Whether you're a pro on the job site or managing properties, clean and safe is your #1 priority. And Lowe's has the pro-grade cleaning supplies you need. We go beyond the basics, bringing you commercial cleaning from top brands like Clorox, Zep, and Rubbermaid, and in larger sizes, so you can take on any cleaning job, knowing you have the quantity you need. Shop Lowe'sForPros.com and have your items delivered, or pick up in store. Lowe's, the new home for pros. U.S. only.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares sweepstakes is back. Every time the score changes, someone wins $50,000. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. See rules and enter for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 55.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age majority. Ends February 4th. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 33. The NFL is not sponsored promotion in any way.
These days, it's okay to do some things halfway, like wearing your pajama bottoms on a work call, but managing your prescriptions shouldn't be one of them. That's why CVS has a proprietary search tool to find ways that may help lower your prescription costs, and will deliver them for free. No wonder CVS customers are better than most at staying on prescriptions, which tends to make you healthier. Come in or call today and get a free prescription savings review at CVS. Savings vary. Not all patients eligible for savings. Delivery restrictions apply. Visit cvs.com for details.
More time at home means more laundry at home and more wear and tear on old appliances. But it's the perfect time for a trip to the Home Depot or HomeDepot.com. Right now, save on a Samsung top or front load laundry pair. Your choice, just $6.98 each. Save up to $600 on the pair. So wash, dry, and save big on select Samsung laundry appliances. Now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. See store for details. Gas dryer extra valid through January 27th.
KTH Parts Industries in St. Paris, Ohio has immediate openings for second and third shift production associates. KTH promotes from within, offers an attractive benefits package, including medical, dental, 401k, attendance bonus, and a competitive wage, starting at just over $17 per hour with annual increases. During the month of January, KTH will be hosting walk-in interviews every day from 7:30 a.m. through 3 p.m. Please bring a resume and photo ID to apply or see other career opportunities at kth.net. KTH is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Sales Manager Jason Hyatt, Germain Honda, Beaver Creek, proud recipient of the prestigious President's Award. We are your local Honda dealer, and we invite you to see our newly renovated state-of-the-art facility. You'll be amazed at our selection, and remember, all new Hondas come with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit us at Route 35, just east of 675, conveniently located near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Germain Honda, Beaver Creek, the right car, the right price, the right way. I hope to see you soon.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722. Or online at lanceroofing.com.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring for brand new home daily dedicated lanes. Earn up to $1,620 per week. A $2,000 sign-on bonus, medical, dental, vision, company paid life insurance. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com.
Merrill Edge Self-Directed helps put investing within reach. Get started at merrilledge.com/within reach. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated. Registered broker-dealer, member SIPC.
He's a former Buckeyes great and now a college football Hall of Famer. And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots.
Watch for the great block by Keith Byars on Pepper Johnson. Bam! Right there. Byars just failed.
He's Dayton's own Keith Byars. It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken on Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Phone number to call is 937-457-9464. You get me on Twitter also at KAB41. My gosh, guys, it's Monday, Championship Monday. Aren't you excited? You know, if you're lunchtime, I just had me some leaves on the break. You got me some chicken, so if you're riding around, grab you some and talk about the game. I know you've been talking about the game all day. You know, it's one of those games where, one of those days, if you're a player, 8 o'clock can't get here soon enough, you know, because you want to play. And if you're a fan, you know, which most of us are, you trying to get through your work day. Oh, I can't wait to finish I want to go home and watch the Buckeyes. But, you know, really as a player, you really want to wake up and play. You want to wake up and play. I shouldn't say hate because that's a strong word, but I despised a lot of primetime games. I'm just, you know, you get to be a creature of habit. I like to, you know, you go to college, a lot of your games are day games, but, you know, I know times change. They got more primetime games than before when I used to play. But I like to get out of my bed, get dressed, and get to the stadium and play. And then I sit back and watch everybody else. But on big games like today, you know, you're playing the game over and over in your mind. You know, a lot of players, ever since, you know, they got on the bus after the Clemson game, they've been looking forward to this game Monday night against Alabama. And, you know, these days are special. You know, I know we're fans. Some of us more than fans like myself. But you have to appreciate, don't take this for granted. It's 2021, the 2020 season. You know, and we're spoiled. You know, it's okay to be spoiled. That's, you know, thank God we're Buckeye fans. It's okay to be spoiled. But here we are. We haven't had a championship game in 6 years. You know, it's technically 7 now. 2014, you know, season. It's really 6 years since we played in a championship game. I know it was January 2015, but bear with me, good people. And prior to that, Ohio State hadn't played for the national championship. Well, they played Yeah, I mean, they hadn't won it since 2002. They did get there a few other times against Florida, against LSU, and lost. But the biggest point I'm making, guys, it's hard to get to championship games. It is extremely hard. You know, every year starts off with, according to the NCAA, over 100 people, over 100 schools have an opportunity to play in this game. But we know it's only the Power Five and the major independent of Notre Dame. So the number's not that big. And the actual teams that can win it is less than 20. And if you happen to be at one of those institutions, you know, you're blessed and you got to be thankful for the opportunity. And I was going to watch this game anyway tonight. You know, I was going to watch it hating that Ohio State is not in this game or loving that Ohio State is in this game. But nevertheless, I was still going to watch the football game. But it's so much easier to watch it when your team is in it and your alumni is in it and people you cheer for is in it. And guys, this night is special. You know, it'll just be made even more special if Ohio State wins. But nevertheless, we're going to remember this night one way or the other. It's just how we remember it. And I want to remember it as an Ohio State victory over Alabama. Last week, I was telling you about my family that lives in Alabama and other parts of the country, but they're Crimson Tide fans. And every year at the reunion, we have this conversation about whose school is better. And the last 6 years have been very, very, very good to me since we spanked them in the Sugar Bowl. So help my situation along with my family, and we continue this tradition of whipping up on Alabama in this bowl game tonight. That would help me immensely. Now, let me get back to a couple of things about my analysis of the game. You know, I think the defensive backs, you know, Alabama has a slight edge over Ohio State. You know, we both have an All-American in our secondary. We have Sean Wade. They have Patrick Surtain. But coverage is going to be a problem for both teams. You know, whoever does the best job. But I'm going to give Alabama just a slight edge there. The linebackers, I think it's a wash. They're both 1-1. The defensive line, I think Ohio State has a little bit of an edge there, 2-1. I mean, Tommy Togiai, Haskell Garrett, those are, you know, the hidden success of the Ohio State defensive line. You know, they stop the pressure up the middle, and they're going to be counted on heavy in the run game. They have got to beat the one-on-one and tackle Najee Harris, make him uncomfortable, you know, so that the linebackers can come clean him up. Because if Najee Harris is getting to our second and third level with no problem, it's going to be a problem for Ohio State all night long. So I have to give the edge to our defense line. And Coach Larry Johnson has those guys playing extremely well. He rotates a whole bunch of the linemen in there. I named two of them, but I really mean all of them because they're all are going to have to go. Jonathan Cooper's got to beat the one-on-one, get pressure on Mac Jones, as well as, you know, Harrison, Tyreek Smith. All those names are going to be counted tonight, so I give Ohio State a slight edge. The tight end on the other side of the ball, Ohio State has a slight edge there because they have numbers. We have about 3 tight ends we can throw the ball to. They all got good hands. They all are excellent blockers. Alabama only has really 1 tight end they use a lot. They use him more so in the passing game, and he's an outstanding receiver, Billingsley. But we have got to make him have to block. And so when they do run the ball, we have to exploit his weaknesses because he's really an oversized wide receiver. As special as he is in the passing game, he's not as special as a dynamic blocker. We have to expose him in there. The wide receiver battle, they have the Heisman Trophy winner, you know, and they have Waddle possibly playing Sunday night, but even if Waddle doesn't play, they are stacked at wide receiver. Michi is an outstanding receiver. They are stacked at wide receiver. But guess who else is stacked at wide receiver? Ohio State. The Ohio State University is very stacked too. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jamison Wilson, you know, Jackson Smith-Njigba. We are just, I give both teams a 2 there. There is no decided advantage. You know, even the Heisman Trophy is heavy. I picked it up. It's a heavy trophy, but it's not that heavy enough to give Alabama an advantage over Ohio State's wide receivers because they've been getting all the talk. But watch out for Chris Olave. You know, I don't have to tell you. You know who to look for. He's going to be there. Offensive line. Who has a better offensive line? Is it Alabama? Is it Ohio State? Both have outstanding. Both have All-Americans on their line. Alex Leatherwood, Wyatt Davis for Ohio State, Alex Leatherwood for Alabama. And Alabama's All-American center, he's out for the game. I give Ohio State a slight edge, 2-1 over Alabama, but they both have outstanding offensive lines. They block well, they pass protect well, but Ohio State just have a slight edge there. Running back, Ohio State, Alabama, we have Trey Sermon and Master Teague. I believe he's going to be back tonight. Mayan Williams, I'm not so sure, but they have Najee Harris. I'm giving Alabama a slight edge. They both like to jump over people, but they both have outstanding running backs. And going into the game, I'm gonna give Alabama a slight edge. But one thing that Trey Sermon is doing over the last 2 games, he's averaging over 200 yards a game. And I tell you what, if Trey Sermon has over 170 yards tonight, Ohio State's gonna win the game. Just if he has 170 yards, done. Regardless of everything else, done. They will win the game. Now it leads me to the quarterback. They have a Heisman Trophy candidate, finalist in Mac Jones. Our quarterback finished 7th in the Heisman Trophy, but I'm going to give him 2-1, 2 to Ohio State, 1 for Alabama. Mac Jones is an outstanding quarterback. He stepped in, hardly not missing a beat for Tua Tagovailoa. I know I messed that name up, so just Tua. When he got hurt last year and, they missed a beat, all this year with him. So Mac Jones is outstanding, but we got to make him uncomfortable, get him off this rhythm. And, I'm sure Alabama's going to try to do that with Justin Fields. And if they have some success getting Justin off his marks, guess what? Justin has a pair of legs. And he can make plays with his legs more so than Mac Jones. And that's why I give him a slight advantage over Mac Jones. And it's going to be bigger than that by the end of the night. But right now, Justin Fields has an advantage. So you add all those things up that I mentioned earlier. Ohio State has 19. Alabama has 18, and one thing I missed, I didn't go over, I think the turnover battle. And they both have, I don't think there's no clear-cut decided advantage. And so both teams are very, very evenly matched. And I'm giving a slight, razor-thin edge in the comparisons between the two to Ohio State. And it will always come down to turnovers. Because if it's that close, who commits the most turnovers? Or the least amount of turnovers. Same thing. And that's, these championship games. And look at the last night of Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of bad things happen, for Pittsburgh. But, and some good things. Quarterback throw 500 yards. But when you have 4 turnovers, you're not winning a football game. I played in Super Bowl 31. Desmond Howard was the MVP. And we had 4 turnovers. Drew Bledsoe threw the ball 4 times to the wrong team. And if you take that out, that game's a little different. You take those 4 turnovers away that Ben Roethlisberger had yesterday, that's a little different game. So this game tonight, Ohio State win the turnover battle. It's not going to be easy. The team that punts the most in this game is going to lose. You're going to lose. So Ohio State, let's meet Alabama's punter. Let's take the ball away from them. That's going to be we're going to remember this night for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. How are we going to remember tonight? I wish a whole lot of us could be in the stadium, be there at the tailgate, but we're not. But one thing for sure about Buckeye Nation, we are everywhere. So even though we're not in there physically, our presence is there. Coming from a former player, I can feel the presence. That's one thing that when you go to Ohio State, they say you on the road in other these stadiums, but Buckeye Nation is there. We feel you. We feel the difference that you make in our lives and the impact that you have on the game. It is something special. That's one of the reasons why they hate Ohio State and they hate that's why we had a motto, Ohio versus the world, because that is one of the reasons what we bring to the table. A lot of things can divide us in this country. But one thing about being an Ohio State fan, and an Ohio State person, we all have our differences, and that's what makes us up. We come together from all different walks of life, from the cities to the countries, black, white, yellow, red, doesn't matter. Whether you like rock and roll music, country music, R&B, jazz, we all come together in one big melting pot, and and we all agree, let's all point in the right direction and let's cheer for our team. That's what Ohio State's going to need tonight. We do our part, the players on the field do their part, and we're going to have a great day. So as well as everybody strutted into work this morning, representing the Cleveland Browns, and you deserve it. Hold your head up high because you have caught flack for a long, long time. Enjoy the win, Browns fans, but I need my Ohio State people to go to work like that tomorrow. We've had more of those days in Browns fans, but we need this one. You don't get opportunities to play in national championship games every year. We talk about it, we want to do it, but so does everyone else. So when it does happen, I don't want us to, take it for granted. Let's enjoy the moment. Even though I said a few weeks ago when we won the Big Ten, we was Big Ten champs. Don't diminish that. That is a great thing. And are we going to get in the playoffs? So let's enjoy this first. Let's enjoy being Big Ten champs. That doesn't, a whole lot of people want to switch places with that. So we Big Ten champs, we enjoyed it. The players get a ring. We didn't get a chance to whip up on Michigan this year, to get a pair of gold pants. But then we qualified for the college football playoffs. Got to beat one of our nemesis, Clemson. No sooner we beat them. You guys ready for Alabama? Yeah, we will be, but let us enjoy this. You get it to the semifinals. You beat them. You beat Clemson. You got that off your back. Now you got one more game to go. Just like 6 years ago when you played Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, you beat them and everybody was patting you all on the back. It's not over. We still got to play Oregon in the championship game. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. We beat Clemson. That's in the past now. There's plenty of time to talk about Clemson game. But right now, all our focus, all our attention is on Alabama. They get it. They have felt what it's like to come against Ohio State. I've seen Cardale Jones and some of the other guys are already in Miami. They're physically representing us, but they're representing a whole lot more than just themselves. We're all in Miami tonight. Sit around your televisions. Keep your social distance around each other, and wear your mask if you go out to, your local watering hole. But let us all come together as one and as a nation to support the Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes, I'm 100% with you. I'm not going to get any sleep party tonight. I'm going to be tired. Every time Trey Sermon runs the ball, I'm going to be running the ball in my basement. Can't wait. Ohio State, Alabama tonight. You've been listening to Keith Byars radio show. Hey, random acts of nice of kindness to your fellow man. Thanks a lot. See you next time.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio. We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Into the end zone goes Chris Olave. KJ Hill, 6-yard touchdown catch. Right sideline and down he goes.